Um, I take my hat off to Kentucky. Um, that's a team that's responded to a little bit of adversity lately, with a great game plan, with a great performance, with great execution. That's a heck of a basketball team that was locked in tonight. It seemed like they followed the game plan from Coach Pope to a T. I thought they transitioned from one thing to the next very well, changing defenses, changing coverages, really executing their offense and playing with pace. We had a feeling that we would be facing a very determined Wildcats team, and that's what we saw tonight. It was a very impressive job by them. So first off, hats off to them. Wish we had played a better first half in terms of just some of our habits. Was happy with our response in the second half, but too little, too late.
Coach, Kentucky did something different tonight with moving Cam Williams to the 4. I'm sure you guys watched a lot of film in preparation for this game. How much different is it for Kentucky to guard when they've got a guy playing the 4 that can hit shots and stretch the floor a little bit?
We thought this might happen because there were rumors and discussion all week about Diabate and his ability to play tonight. So we were prepared. We thought that might happen, that he would start at the 4. It does change things. I will say that the player he replaced in the starting lineup is a heck of a player, and it's a different look, but he's more physical inside. He can hit shots. He had an amazing season last year. He's trying to find his way in a new program this year. He's a tremendous player. It just changes the way you cover some things because Cam is much more of a catch and shoot guy, so that's a little different. So I think it made them a little faster in some ways, and it just gave them the extra dimension of one more driller on the perimeter. So they were hard to guard for certain. I think they would have been hard to guard with the original starting lineup the way they played tonight. But I do think that Cam Williams is a really good player, and he presented some problems defensively.
Josh, obviously Kentucky likes to get out in transition as much as they can, 33-3 and fast break points. You mentioned the defense. Just what did they do to kind of turn that defense into offense throughout the game?
I thought they sprinted really hard. Number one, they did a very good job early on the defensive boards. And I think they have some elite rebounders in the front court, and that allows their guards to maybe sprint out a little bit more and earlier. And that certainly was the case. It seemed like they were contesting and flying out, and the bigs were doing a really good job of cleaning up the glass, really outletting the ball quickly and ahead, and they did an amazing job of pitching the ball ahead to those wings who were not leaking out but sprinting out. And really, if you're not getting back on the flight of the ball when that ball's lifting up, you're going to be in a tough position there. But it started with their ability to rebound the ball, to start the game with Moreno, and I thought he did a great job on the glass. And then Cam Williams was great on the glass as well. And then Aberdeen, I think, is a really good positional rebounder who then starts the break on his own. So I think their rebounding really allowed them to sprint out tonight.
Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 3/5 of your starting lineup were returners to your team. Particularly, at your level of basketball, that's something that surprised me a little bit, seeing how different so many teams are year to year with the transfer portal. What does that do for your group? Even if tonight, you weren't as satisfied with how the performance went, what does that do to your group to have that kind of continuity?
I think it's always good to have some continuity in your program. There's lots of different ways to do this in terms of winning, and that's from top to bottom with a whole program, right? But it's really helpful when there's carryover, there's institutional knowledge, guys understand what to expect every day, kind of what the standards are, how to play the way we want to. They're not always going to be perfect in that, but they're bought in. They are, hard-playing guys, and I think being able to have good players come back to your program is always going to be a good thing, but it also means a lot because of the things that you want to carry forward year to year. You're trying to build year to year and build on the previous year, and it's much easier to do that when you have that continuity in returning players.
Hey, Josh. Kentucky played their two bigs 24 and 10 pretty equally and evenly. Both of them were very productive. What specific challenges do each one of them present to your team?
That's something that we've noticed as well, that they've been kind of splitting those minutes. They actually, at the end of the game tonight, played them together a little bit too, so I think they're trying to toy around with some of those things. I thought both of them gave them a great rim presence. They're different, right? Malachi Moreno is a little more back to the basket, and Brandon is a little more agile in terms of driving and sprinting, but they both pressure the rim really well. I think the one thing about each of them is they're also good passers and willing passers. And Coach Pope's teams always pass really well to cutters. They share the ball, and I think each of those guys is an unselfish player, but they pressure the rim. And to have two of them and be able to keep them fresh by splitting the minutes it's really nice. And I think they're both taking steps, and they're both really good players.
Anything else? Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.